before we start, I think I'd like to take some time to applaud you for your motivation, right? It takes a lot to be in a position that you are. And I think that all viewers should know this. And you're constantly motivated and you're self-motivating, and you are a strength to a lot of people, including myself. I personally feel that the journey that you're embarking on, raising awareness and normalizing this is very, very important, because you rightly said that this could happen to anyone. And being from the insurance sector, I know that genetic diseases, in most cases at least, SMA is not covered because of the huge coverage that it may need. I got introduced to SMA I think 3-4 years ago, just before the pandemic, where one of my colleagues son, right, in TCS, so he got diagnosed with SMA, and that was the first time I realized that one injection or vaccination costs 16 crores. The first thought that came in was that this could happen to anyone. Okay. And if this happened to anyone, a working profession, even a qualified actuary like me, who if you look at our salaries, they're pretty high up, right? But we would not be able to afford. It's unplanned, it is not insurable. And at the same time, I mean, the turmoil of life is a separate thing altogether, because you won't even have time to think about it, right? So for me, it just felt like, no one could afford this. And for me, it was a shock, because now you are fully dependent on others. Unless you come from a privileged background, you will not have the savings, and you will not have future income as well to pay roughly about 60 to 80 lakh rupees per year. That is the average cost of keeping this disease from progressing. Really shocking. It was heartbreaking for me. So this was something that I felt within my heart, that this is something that I had to take upon, and my first step was to, of course, contribute. In the pandemic, unfortunately, I lost my Masi because of a long illness with cancer, and that's when I realized that there are people who will never be able to afford any kind of healthcare. They'll lose their houses, they'll lose their life savings. Any disease that is like cancer or something that has a longer duration, the average cost can range between 30 to 80 lakhs. I don't want to disregard anyone's emotions, assuming all the causes are genuine. But if you see it everywhere, you're just going to disconnect from it. Unless you connect to a cause, right? It feels like, at least this is coming from me personally, I haven't asked anyone this. So unless I don't connect to a cause, I genuinely don't want to do it. It feels like work. Today I'm talking to you, it doesn't feel like work. It's something that I genuinely want to do. This activity of, putting in more effort just for genuine causes, they may not have time for that, right? They rather go watch a movie, and that's not wrong, because you need to live life as well. The evolution is happening, even with inclusivity as a society, right? You've seen, the evolution of LGBTQ plus, and in workplace. So the previous organization that I worked for, JLT, which is now Marsh, I constantly follow their page. So there's a lot of inclusive activities being done.
I've been very intrigued by what you're doing with MyySafe. What exactly is your startup about?
I come from a background which is humble. So my father lost his father when he was just 2 years. The whole rebuild process started from there. I have been privileged. My parents have given me wonderful education. They've given me more than they could afford. So I'm always grateful for that. I realized that one small misstep can make this all go away, right? And I've seen this with families, and for me, healthcare and the fact that I became a healthcare actuary, it resonates on the fact that no one should have to choose between life and money. If you need to get a treatment, you need to be able to not take a call that, do I have the money in the bank to get this treatment done? So for me, that's the thing about insurance, right? You need to be adequately insured. Now, the other end is for people who are not insured, right? What are they doing? They're building from scratch. They're saving, putting their children to school. So my cook who comes in, she's made sure that she gives an English education to the child, although they, her husband isn't, and probably she isn't, but they want to make sure that they give the best education, so that going forward, that the child can make a future for themselves. But once, maybe a small misstep can get them back. So what our startup does is it will help you collate all your asset information in one place. Okay. This is because a lot of people in today's, and I've seen this happen, is that people will save for retirement, but not talk about it. Right. So a husband doesn't really know what the wife has done in savings and jewelry, etc., etc. Right. A wife doesn't know what the husband has in terms of assets. There may be some properties, there may be some loans that may happen. And this have seen in the last 5 years that people have lost their homes because of this lack of communication. So what MyySafe does is MyySafe will let you save all this information in an encrypted format all in one place. You don't want to talk about it, don't talk about it while you're alive. But should something happen to you, then you from day one appoint 2 facilitators who will be aware that you're on this app. And if something were to go wrong, they'll upload a death certificate, and then we'll lift the veil of this encrypted information. We will give you access to whatever they stored. So at least you know which door to knock for your inheritance. A lot of people are not aware of it. And the process of claiming inheritance is another thing. So that is something for MyySafe in the future to do. But for now, we are at the stage where we want to get people similar. So that's why I resonated with your point about awareness. I want to make people aware that this is what you deserve as an inheritance. Because your father may have not spoken to you, right? And your father may not even have spoken to the mother. And today people are dying young. Today my parents don't know which insurance policies I have. But why do I have an insurance policy? For them. Right? So all asset information, all insurance information is all saved in one place. So the free version of this app is this saving of data. Okay. And you then, coming to the non-encrypted part, there is a small section called About Us that saves all your healthcare information and basic healthcare. What is your blood group? Are you allergic to something? Are you currently taking any medication? In case you, because of accident, you come to a hospital comatose, do you want to donate your organs? This is the only thing that your 2 facilitators can see from day one, because that is emergency information. Now coming to the paid version of the app, now once you have all this information in one place, you can draft a will. And our will is by far, we have done so many peer reviews, lawyers have drafted it. I'm not a lawyer myself, so lawyers have drafted it. They have cross-checked each other's work. There's been a peer review. I've added my risk element to it because I come from a risk background. Actuarial people analyze risk, right? So we've put those clauses in it, and by far I feel that this is one of the most detailed will drafts that you will see out there for the price that we charge. So what we have done for the first year, we provide you access to record a 5-minute video in which you speak your heart out, and that video is only seen after you die. If you are speaking your heart out, if you are making yourself emotionally vulnerable, at least they're not seeing it while you're alive.
So now bringing myself to the last question, Vivek, as an individual, if you had to ask for, say, 2 or 3 things from your society, from people, from systems you have been with, that can lead to people coming forward to result in the most needed change of time, what do you think you would want to ask for?
So the first thing, again, I'll repeat, right? So it's important for you to attach and detach, I think, for your own sanity, right? That's one thing that I would tell everyone to do, right? Because unless you're mentally fit, it will show up in your physical aspect. It will show up in your emotions, everything. And from what I've seen in my journey, coming to the second thing is, I would say that make sure that you ensure that you are adequately protected. And that's where insurances come in, whether it's term insurances, whether it's health insurance. These 2 you should have, whether it's disability as part of that term insurance, whether it's accident covers. So these are 2-3 basic things that don't cost much. You need to have. Get the best type of policy, make sure you're adequately insured. And at the same time, because what happens otherwise, one health scare may just deplete you of all those savings. It's very important that you do what you love as well. Find your passion. Today, if you're working, make sure you also live your life.
Absolutely.
Whether it's with friends, family, parents, each and every relationship is important. Our parents, or maybe our parents have lived through a generation of scarcity, right? We came off independence. We needed to build, we needed to save, we needed to build houses, we needed to have a roof on our head, we needed to have 3 times food, but today you have to understand that there is abundance of it. There are certain sectors where there is disparity, but everyone should know that don't live in the mentality of pulling each other down. Lift, like you said, uplift each other, help each other, and know that there is enough for everyone. You should compare yourself with you a day ago, not with, oh, that guy has a different car, much more expensive than me, or that guy is getting better grades, or that guy is making more money than me, right? If you are growing, that should be enough.
So thank you so much. And remain the kind-hearted person you are.
You blow my mind. I don't know if you know yet. I've tried some time.